On the world map, one continent is missing, made up of servers, cables, and virtual interaction. It is an invisible land, yet it is where we now live. I crossed this threshold in the footsteps of an avatar. One thing we don't get to choose is the name we are given at birth. We might love it or be embarrassed by it, but we can very rarely avoid it. I myself was one of those people whose surname offered too many puns to bear. When the internet came into my life, it offered me a range of ways to exist, including the possibility of choosing a new identity. In my case, I could playfully reinvent myself as an avatar, but for others, it can be a vital way to give them a voice, or to finally embody and openly live out something society still denies them. In these long-sought places lies a channel of endless possibilities. This is the home of avatars. Life has limits, but this house knows no bounds. I remember my first ever pseudonym. I chose Quentin, a clever contraction of my name, and my favorite Goonies character. It's a choice that can stay with you for a long time. Pseudonyms can create an artistic ambiguity that can lead to confusion. For example, if someone includes the number 69, many questions arise. Were they born in 1969? Are they fond of acrobatic postures? A local from the Lyon region? People find different meanings. I think of all the profile photos I've chosen for these spaces. At first, I would feverishly select my best photo as a proud ambassador of my looks, of this imperfect shell I have to live with. I then soon went the opposite way. I posted photos in weird outfits or doing ridiculous poses. I found charm in my own lack of charm. Despite these efforts, the display was disappointing. The exposed charisma wasn't enough. A photo can deceive others, but not oneself. I finally found my identity by using something other than my face. Bizarrely, a photo of Clive Barker or David Cronenberg conveyed myself better than my own photos. By clicking on my profile, you entered a mental universe instead of seeing a person who ultimately didn't really exist. I focused my online presence towards art, but a flag, a photo of Napoleon, or a trade union logo can elicit different opinions. Whether I like it or not, my photo and name will be judged, dissected, as it's initially all there is to define me in this sphere. Everything's political, and these seemingly trivial choices say something about me, my relationship with others and the world, how I want to be perceived. A profile photo can be a rallying cry. Some online communities use it as a marker of identity, allowing members to recognize each other and potentially act as a group. The individual disappears into a team dynamic, which bombards its rivals with comments, ranging from mild humor to blatant harassment. It's hard to deny the effectiveness of such methods. Profile photos become a kind of manifesto, a symbol of belonging. Back when some people still firmly believe in NFTs, it was fashionable for owners of these artifacts to display their possessions as profile pictures. Due to their hefty prices, these images served as signs of wealth, of social distinction. Only members of this select club saw interest in it. Meanwhile, most people mocked the absurdity of the approach or the ugliness of the images. Behind a simple profile picture, behind the choice of a pseudonym, lies a whole world, a language, a message, sometimes unintended. Since childhood, I've chased the promise that video games offer of embodying a new self, dreaming of adventure via the actions of my alter ego. Even if games had no internet connection then, I could live the dream fiction had promised. Being part of the picture, feeling like an actor in a film. I was fascinated by games that let me choose an avatar. Even if options were limited, I could see myself as an elf, a barbarian, or a warrior. Without realizing, I developed an empathy with the virtual beings I was controlling. They would suffer in my place, but I would achieve the impossible through them. At first, I could only choose the type of character, a few talents and abilities at best. But I could soon modify my character's physique, down to the cartilage in their ears. Over time, the customization options became almost excessive. You could spend hours adjusting your hairline or the position of a tattoo. In the age of the internet, this extreme customization has enabled people to create famous figures within games and share them with the world. This is where character development enters a new realm. If you have Albert Einstein playing in a golf tournament, your games take on a new flavor, delighting science enthusiasts and golf fans alike. Likewise, if you make him a valiant knight lost in some fantastical land. When I create a character, I'm torn between reaching for an ideal and breaking the rules. Will I create someone with harmonious features or give them the ravaged physique of someone who has lived 1,000 lives? It's actually strange to see how hard it is to represent oneself, how difficult it is to capture your own real face. Sometimes it even borders on the absurd. The satirical website The Onion mocked this search for the perfect avatar by imagining a game that could let you alter your creation's DNA until it begged you to stop. Nonetheless, today's results are impressively realistic, and the internet is full of avatars with iconic features, from politics to music, and across pop culture as a whole. Characters are often built for the amused reactions they will elicit. Beyond humor, there's the matter of representation, cliches, and other new themes surfacing in society. Some seek to refute eugenic or normative aspects linked with the idea of an ideal being. Combating this God complex that can arise from creating such characters is an outpouring of the most grotesque models imaginable, some pushing weirdness to its absolute limits. Generally, I've always viewed my online presence as a kind of virtual role-playing game, where I can write my truth, however far it may be from who I actually am. Creating a profile is like choosing your role in an adventure game. How will I use my new alias? Will my online persona be brave and honest, funny and mischievous, or deceitful and toxic? Will my actions be harmful or wonderful? Ultimately, what do you do when you can do everything? The internet, like games, offers us a chance to reclaim who we are, to embody who we want to be, without all the limitations of reality. For better, certainly, but also clearly for worse. Sometimes, choosing a pseudonym is a necessity. I live with someone who, when they signed up for Facebook, found 2,000 profiles with their full name. It was that common. So a pseudonym is sometimes simply a way of being visible, of standing out from the crowd. But behind all these avatars lies a crucial concept: anonymity. The great advantage of adopting a different image is that I can hide who I really am. My avatar is a facade to distract people from my true self. By using an alias, I can fly under the radar, where true freedom undoubtedly lies. Given the inherent dangers of this new online presence, which some experience firsthand, many people choose to limit the information they share on the web, as it can start to resemble a hunter's snare. Our data is a valuable asset, and we don't know where it might end up. So we need a strategy for how we present ourselves. By creating an online persona, I essentially have a kind of shield that can take the hits for me. Like the RPG heroes who die and fight for us. Whistleblowers can also use pseudonyms to expose scandals they've witnessed. This allows us to bypass certain system blocks An alias can also be used to infiltrate and bring down criminal networks. In less extreme cases, the anonymity of an avatar offers us greater freedom of expression, and that's often for the better. But it also allows us to cross the boundaries of morality, reason, or the law. We allow ourselves to do the worst things when we believe no one is watching. We can even easily usurp another person's identity and make them say whatever we want. Who hasn't received a message from a celebrity desperate for money, pleading for help? People can lie about their appearance and even their feelings to deceive others. It's always the same with the internet, constantly bringing as many new problems as solutions. Some public figures, even politicians, have used secondary accounts to express opinions they wouldn't dare say under their real names. I've used many pseudonyms over the years, but never to be divisive. I've always seen them as a chance to reimagine myself, hoping to spark a kind of curiosity, like a superhero living a double identity. A pseudonym is sometimes a beacon shining in the sky, calling anyone who wishes to interact. By calling myself Alt-236, an old keyboard shortcut for the infinity symbol, I no longer embodied a nationality or gender, an age or an opinion. I referred to a symbolic form in which everyone can find themselves. Creating an alias is like putting on a new skin, donning a new costume, or sometimes even starting afresh. Yet for me, two enigmas remain. Those who still use their real identities, navigating the space with their faces uncovered, and those who, in a certain way, refuse to exist. I'm referring to those with invisible avatars. Whether they are supporters of the anonymous movement, dark web users, or 4chan members, it is now impossible to have no name or image online, to become just a part of a shapeless and elusive mass. In the age of VPNs and encrypted messaging, it's possible to erase every trace that could be used to identify you. And again, what do you do when you can do everything? Avatars, now commonplace, need a world to exist in. Ready Player One may have correctly predicted a broken world, but we are not yet enjoying the fantasy's oasis, an ultra-immersive universe where people can live, work, and play with no limits other than their own imagination. In our world, similar attempts have been made since the arrival of the internet. The best example is undoubtedly Second Life. I remember hearing about it in the wake of a protest in this virtual space to push the far right to remove its headquarters. In this strange way, I discovered the enormous potential of this El Dorado. To create my dream character and acquire a virtual plot of land where I could build everything I wanted. All kinds of cosplay, so many body types and species. While the site still exists, it no longer possesses a shred of its former glory. Our avatars now lack a world to properly accommodate them. The metaverse is the latest example of many unsuccessful attempts. Who would want to use such a tool to maximize remote work meetings? How could a space be designed so that we want to stay there? In my first and only Fortnite game 6 years ago, I could never have imagined the scale the game would reach. It hosts so many players and generates so much money that Epic Games, the studio behind its creation, has been able to offer players moments reminiscent of the Oasis, particularly in the form of concerts. To experience it like a player and understand what their avatars saw, I watched a replay of an Eminem concert in 2023. He is certainly not the only artist to have appeared in these virtual realms. During the concerts, the brand announces its new features and other virtual worlds. It is a kind of advertising show, like the American Super Bowl. It is a memorable sequence. The players are in the middle of a typical game, happily shooting at each other, when suddenly a meteorite bursts through the sky. Approaching the crater, you and your team are suddenly sucked into a vortex, and psychedelic virtual compositions appear around you. Eminem's music begins to play, and his avatar appears as a towering figure rapping in the middle of an apocalypse, while you subject your avatar to the most far-fetched Fortnite dance moves. I still don't fancy playing the game, but I admit I did feel a pang of envy at this type of virtual event. In these moments, your avatar is living the life it deserves. The The show is so spectacular that for a moment, you become your avatar and experience the impossible through its eyes. For a moment, you feel like you're in a film. In other games, players have used their avatars to deliver a collective message. Alongside real-life weddings celebrated virtually, there have also been emotional tributes. I was deeply moved by the tribute paid by Final Fantasy XIV players after the death of manga artist Kentaro Miura. In this massive multiplayer game, players gathered at a meeting point, wearing armor that paid homage to his manga, Berserk. Hundreds of players spontaneously formed a guard of honor for several hours in memory of the artist. More recently, Akira Toriyama inspired a similar practice. The avatars themselves embodied the tribute, which became more powerful as they multiplied. If the internet is a play, a new actor has just entered the stage. Like us, they have an avatar, but there is no real human behind it. When I interact with someone online, I can no longer be sure of the nature of the person I'm talking to. Is the customer service representative a chatbot? And was that profile picture randomly generated by thispersondoesnotexist.com? There is one event that to me perfectly illustrates this new unsettling kind of ambiguity in online interactions. On the 27th of March 2016, content creator Vinny, a videographer from the VineSource Collective, posted his exploration of a now abandoned virtual world called Active Worlds. While he was feeling uneasy at the total absence of avatars in this world, which had previously been teeming with them, an unexpected event occurred. An avatar appeared. It spoke in a repetitive manner and didn't seem surprised by his presence. Vinny assumed it was a non-player character, a character coded into the game, a sort of robot. But their exchange quickly became strange, and the YouTuber began to believe that a real person was hiding behind this avatar. The unease returned, especially as the character became menacing. Just before disappearing, he called the YouTuber by his nickname, showing that he knew who he was. It was later revealed that it was actually the developers of Active Worlds who noticed someone had logged into their game, which had been empty for years. They logged in during his session to play a prank on Vinny. This type of wholly online interaction foreshadowed, 7 years ago, the uncanny valley into which we are all now entering. Our ability to convincingly falsify reality will force us to constantly question the veracity of everyone else in this immaterial space. Not everyone sees this negatively. It's now possible to bring back a dead actor and have them perform. While the admiration of fans is always cited, there is something more sinister about this kind of necromancy. Hollywood actors have even been on strike to protest being scanned while still alive in order to eliminate the need for their physical presence. Even if online actors don't truly exist, we become attached because a real person is hidden behind them. The gap between who they are and how they imagine themselves to be makes them fascinating. But there is one avatar that still puzzles me, and her name is Hatsune Miku, a superstar who doesn't exist and yet is massively popular among a legion of fans. She is what we call a Vocaloid. Originally created to advertise speech synthesis software, Hatsune's voice comes from a computer capable of imitating a human voice. And if Hatsune has shown us anything, it's that we can adore someone who doesn't exist. We can't deny the beauty hidden within inhuman creations, as long as they aren't used to harm us. Either way, this new world of avatars is fascinating. And soon, the question will arise, is it better to be alone among real humans or loved by people who don't actually exist?